Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Into the Breach, where today we're trying the custom squad again, and I'm modifying the previous strategy just a little bit. I think that previous team was absolutely winnable, and we did, in fact, have a victory, basically like on the table until I screwed it up. But I found the swap mech a little frustrating to use, if I'm honest. There were a lot of situations where I just couldn't quite get to where I needed the bug to be, or having to leave myself behind in the bug spot was not safe. So I decided to swap that one out. We still have the drill mech, we still have the control mech, which honestly I think is maybe one of the most powerful mechs in the game. But this time we're bringing the defense mech, which has a pull and a multi-target shield. My hope is that this will allow us to push through to a 2-coin victory with Flight Specialist and Class Specialist. And if we can't get here with this, we can try some other weird stuff. That's the whole point of these weird squads, is to do a weird thing. We're bringing Kazakh. I don't necessarily think that the Kazakh, I can't remember what this species is called from Into the Breach. The Mantis people ability is super useful here, but you know, we'll get some play out of him. I think I might want to put him in the control mech just to buy the +1 move immediately. Yeah, and we'll sell him off at the end of the first island. We'll get that reputation boost and hopefully be able to buy something really cool with it. That's the plan. We'll see if things actually work that way in practice. Yeah, you tell him, Kazakh. He knows his name. He's like a Pokemon. Alright. +1 move. Let's see what we got. So 2-3-3, but bouncers and gastropods are not terribly difficult. I will say I don't think this team is particularly great at dealing with spiders. Here we have 1-3-3 with a webbing enemy and also the moths, who can be extremely problematic, and the bonus health scion sounds like kind of a nightmare. Here, enemy health is 2-3-2. I don't think boost is a big deal. Obviously, scorpions are a pain. And the smoke from the mosquitoes can be as well. This is a competitor, though, for sure. And, oof, enemy health 3-3-1 with armor and webbing and moths and cheese. Okay, so I'm definitely thinking Archive Inc. or Pinnacle Robotics to start. The spiders could potentially be a real annoyance. That could be a problem. Let's go Archive first, and we may do Pinnacle after. Okay, artillery support to begin with. Not terrible. I do wish the artillery support was beginning in a different column, but you know, this is probably fine. So we want to try to bait the Alpha Hornets a little bit. Does it matter who we put up front? Probably not hugely. Okay. This gives us a couple of places where we can try to pull their attention away from the buildings, and then simply move away from them. Alright, pod right away. That's cool. Alright, well, some of this is pretty problematic. How are we going to... So you do 2 damage and no push, right? Alright, well, I mean, like, obviously I very much want to do this thing. Let's see if that ends up being reasonable. We don't have to worry about you. When you hit enemies, you flip their attack direction. So flipping this guy seems pretty valuable. It also sets him on fire, which is nice. And then I could just shield the buildings. We get 2 uses of the shield per mission. Yeah, I don't hate that. So first of all, remove the possibility of spiders. Get a fire started. And then I think what we do with this guy is just move him back a space so that he blocks the spawn. And this cannot fire at the space adjacent to it. Okay, so I have to go all the way back here. Well, there we go. We get this covered, and then this shield remains through the end of the turn, so provide a little bit of bonus value later on. That seems like a pretty good start. Okay, that's excellent, because all we have to do is move out of the way and then let this thing die. Actually, do I want to just... No, this is right. So drop some damage on you. How do I want to manage this? You have 2 HP. Am I allowed to pull things? Okay, I am allowed to pull things that are adjacent for damage. I know we have used this squad in the past, but I'm spacey. I might just do this. And then we can like move this thing back onto a spawn, probably. Is what makes the most sense to do. Or you know what? I can block while reversing its direction, and that means you just need to get moved. So yeah, we move you into a murder position. You get to deal lethal damage, and then I'd rather have this thing kill the big one. And then you kind of just don't have a very important play to make. What I would really like to do is use the other shield on the coal plant. Cannot do that from the position that I'm currently in, unfortunately. I mean, I could just do 1 damage to this thing. Just like soften it up. I guess. Yeah, why not? So that's 4 spaces, right? We can just fly. Oh no, wait. 5 spaces. That's 5 spaces, right? Oh shoot, you're not allowed to target the space adjacent to you. That's awkward. Poor artillery support can't really do very much this turn then. Well, so you can kill that one. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of power with the control mech. I probably just, like, maneuver this thing over to here. Let the bugs knock each other out. You can just soften this guy up. He certainly doesn't need to die this turn. Can pop you, and then... You don't have a tremendously meaningful play. We could toss a quick shield over the power plant. I guess I'm going to do that. Just to be sure. And also this mountain. Okay, that's a good set of enemies to have to deal with. Sort of a very limited total threat surface. So this seems good. We don't actually have to do very much at all here. What's the order? Okay, so if I hit you... I mean, I really want to do 1 damage here, right? Yeah, and then I think maybe that's all of the valuable stuff we can really do. I guess I can move you onto a fire. And you just step out of the way and we're good. All right, great teamwork, everyone. Squad has potential, right? Obviously, it would be better if we got to bring that artillery support with us, but I'm pretty sure that reactor core is going in here. The Accord Repository and Ohmtown. Ohmtown, you know what? I don't hate this layout of satellites. This is probably fairly defensible. We'll do this first, and then we'll consider the other one, so we may very well lose some power here. These buildings are not set up for optimal shielding, sadly. Okay, how do I want to start this? I'm going to put the control mech here, I think. Actually, let's put the drill mech there. All right. Let's see what the Hornets make of this. Okay, pretty good news. So we don't have to care about all of this. Oh, I wish you were one space further over. You move things 3 spaces, right? That's a shame. This wasp there, or the hornet rather there, would be awfully good. Alright, well... Or if we could just put the drill mech there and kill the scion that way, that would also be awfully good. Alright, so you have to get moved. We can drop you on the block, but, you know, obviously that's less exciting. We could also just pull it up a space, potentially. That would be fine, too. We could pull this thing over to a position where it's going to attack the Alpha Hornet. It deals damage in the space that the thing is in, but then it moves the thing. I'm not sure if the Hornet will catch on fire. I think the space will catch on fire, but I'm not sure if the Hornet will. So hard to know whether that's actually going to be good. Yeah, and unfortunately I'm positioned such that I can't even use the other mechs to adjust the Hornet's position to allow me to move it over to where it needs to be. Well, I definitely think blocking that spawn is a high priority. So I guess let's just have that be the way we solve this problem. Like I said, not super exciting, but it'll have to do. You, I can just turn around. Sorry. Not there, though. Because we're going to turn that guy around. And yeah, I think I want to just kind of like put myself in the middle here. Alright. Okay, so it does move them before the fire catches. That's a shame. Not a super meaningful turn. Just kind of softening some of our enemies up a little bit. But you know, that's one of the magical things about this game. You can, in fact, just buy time. It does work. So you go after... Yeah, that's rough. Okay, well, we could adjust the position of the other Hornet. That's not awesome either. I can just let you make contact. We don't have to do anything about that. The order in which these Hornets act is really annoying. Extremely inconvenient. And we actually do want this guy to execute his attack because it'll kill him. So I think it's like... think if I'm one space short of being able to put the Scion onto this thing as well. Actually, I think maybe we just use the claws here. Yeah, we just do a Mantis Slash. Sometimes it matters. All right, pull you down a space. I have enough HP here to survive a hit. So we just let this thing kill that thing before its attack can go off. I take a little bit of damage, whatever. This gastropod deals non-lethal damage to the missile and puts itself into blast range. There we go. That's pretty healthy. And now we only have 2 enemies up. Is there any particular reason not to just throw the Hornet in front of the gastropod? No, I think that seems like a pretty good play. You can come over here and just repair yourself. You can come over here and even throw up a shield, I guess. Perfect. Yeah, wow. Pretty solid, actually. So I can move you to here. Wait, sorry. You're attacking the wrong way. Shoot. I really want to get this thing to back itself up into the into the attack, obviously. It's like that solves that problem. This and these over here aren't actually even problems. Yeah, we can just reverse it first. Yeah, this'll do. Maybe not the highest amount of XP that we could have earned over the course of the mission, but... And you know, the claws did matter. Like, making it so that there were not any spider spawns was relevant. Ooh, wow, I do not love the positions of those tanks. Maybe this is a bad idea. If we do Antiquity Row or the Accord Repository, it'll open up a different 2-star. I think I like that. Gosh, this mission is like perfectly set up for Hornets to be really annoying. There's not really much we can do about it, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we do one of these to see what that mission is. I think the tanks are going to be real tough to defend here. Then again, I mean, stars obviously matter. What the heck. We'll give it a try. We have the shield, which is definitely potentially very helpful. I guess I can put myself in front of the one building square. If something attacks in this column and we don't have any other way of dealing with it, it's not so bad. Alright, so they're immediately after both of the tanks. That's awkward for sure. So this guy's attack is like a huge problem. We can't stop it by reversing him. So how do I want to deal with that? I could step here, turn this guy around, So at least this thing still gets its attack off, but it gets killed. No, that doesn't work. I was going to say, and then we could just throw a shield over the pair of them, both to protect the tank and to give this thing safety later. But actually, that doesn't work. So I probably have to return. I probably have to turn you around. It is super rough that shielding this tank isn't going to be effective. Because it's getting hit 3 times. So yeah, we could shield it if we dealt with this attack somehow, which we cannot do. And the control mech just barely can't get into position for that. And of course, you're the very first attacker. So we can just pull the tank out of position and then have the drill mech like move in front and kill this thing. That's pretty bad though. If I do something like that though, I pull the archive tank up and then we still need to deal with this attack and this attack somehow, and we're going to take a point of building damage. But I think that's approximately where we're going. It really sucks that we can't deal with the... Oh, no, sorry, we can. We can, in fact, deal with the alpha gastropod with the control mech because, right, you can move through... You can move them through each other. So that's pretty good. Your deal... I think is this. As unexciting as that is. And then we just pull this tank out of here. And we just accept the 1 point of building damage because I don't think it's... We can't fix everything. Alright. So moving the control mech onto a fire is not my favorite play in the world. This is going to be ugly. So I would really like to be able to just control this tank out of both of those linear attacks. Unfortunately, that's not going to solve anything. And everybody's attacking, yes, in exactly, as always, the worst possible order to make all interventions suboptimal. Well, that being the case... Okay. We can pull this guy down. We still have to move you out of the way, or we have to move the tank at this point. Moving the tank becomes possible then, because we can put the control mech in that space. And then I have to kill you. So basically we have to spend all of our, every single one of our actions saving the tanks, and we have to let these buildings die. And there's no way around that, is there? Yeah, again, because everything acts in the worst possible order. Is there a way to save the tanks with only 2 actions so that I can have the drill mech at least turn this thing around and only do 1 damage to the buildings? Nope. No, there is not. Well, okay, here's a thought. Actually, If I move this thing all the way to here, it solves that problem. It has to go that far down, but it will pull this thing out of position. So that's a cheap way of solving that problem, which then allows me to... I could just pull you instead. Yeah, that's functional. You come over here and just kill this thing. Okay, now we're only taking 1 point of building damage, and we have saved all of our tanks. And we got a block. Hooray. Still quite ugly. But this is the turn when the tanks turn on, and we can start doing some better work. Alright, so their attack does a push and no damage. That works just fine for me. So we can just put you over here in the corner to sulk. There we go. That works. I mean, I guess it would be better if this thing was not here, because I would love to get this thing to die on the block. So, all right. The tanks can do this, so these things still at least deal a little damage to each other. And then we can just... No, never mind. I cannot, in fact, solve that problem. Well, it's fine. I don't really need to. We'll just throw some shielding over these preemptively. Oh, actually, you're facing a different direction than I thought you were. Never mind. This works out perfectly. I don't know why I saw the damage thing over here, and I was thinking it was representing where the purple guy's damage was going to be. Hooray! You know, that pull is something. It is nice to have 2 of the mechs be able to deal direct damage, actually. Okay, +1 move is a perfectly fine thing. And then, yeah, I think... So we don't have a lot of pushing. It's actually going to be really hard to get the enemies into the water, but it's not so hard to get them onto the tidal wave spaces. And the tidal waves themselves are not super meaningful to us because we all fly. Then again, we're also, you know what? The tidal waves are less meaningful than they might otherwise be because we have hornets. I'm gonna go ahead and try to handle it this way. So, no alpha hornets to begin with. I think we want to just line everybody up in these columns. Try to draw the gastropod's attention. So, here, let's do it like this. The defense mech can afford to be a little bit further back. Its thing works at distance. Okay, that's not a bad start. Okay, so... Definitely feels like I could just fly over here and kill you, but I also could just pull you forward. And that, like, I don't love the move where I put this thing all the way on the edge of the map. So I think let's Kazakh-pleth this thing over to here. Yeah, we'll do it like this. A pretty fast plan that ends up with 0 building damage, a spawn block, and 2 of the 5 enemies dead. I think is something I'm not going to bother to look too hard at. Maybe there was like a slightly more optimal thing there. Hard to imagine it would have been worth any trouble though. All right, let's just finish the job here. And then That's really awkward. I can't quite get the defense mech into position to do damage to block a spawn. But I also can't use it to kill this thing. Alright, I think what we'll do with it is we'll just, like, preemptively shield some buildings. You can put this where it needs to be. I guess we can move first, though. Do so from over here. Alright, air support's doing excellent work so far. Really appreciate it. And then you just need to be somewhere else. Right? So that I can control this guy into the space you were sitting in, because air support. It is a shame Kazakhpleth is soaking up so much early XP, I'll say that. So obviously, let's walk you over here. And then we don't actually even have to do anything. The shield has us covered. Yeah, and I can't do anything of value. I guess I could have you do a pull. Yeah, we can guarantee all the XP for this kill goes to somebody who's actually going to use it instead of splitting it and Kazakhpleth getting 1 point. Nice. All right, we hit exactly that XP threshold. So not splitting that kill was actually really valuable. All right, back to full we go, and also, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if we want the +1 reactor here. I might swap these pilots. I do like having the plus move on the drill mech, though. Okay. You know what? For right now, we'll just make this a plus move. We may be moving Big B to control mech or something after the, yeah, maybe. Starfish Leader's not too bad. The Starfish Leader can be used in a lot of interesting ways. And actually, this is a pretty soft group of initial VEC. I have to say I'm quite happy about this. But of course, we got to take the elimination of the Spider Scion pretty seriously. That rules. That rules. Okay, yeah, not a bad setup overall. How do we want to work this? So your attack deals 3 damage. Pretty sure I just want to drop this guy. Well, yeah, I guess that's fine. I was gonna say maybe we should make sure we kill the Scion first, but actually I think it's okay because this thing's just gonna create a cocoon in a space that's already on fire. And then I do think like there's a question here about whether we want to move the Starfish Leader or whether we would rather move the Arachnid Scion into the Starfish Leader. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this because I can do this while blocking. And then rather than doing anything to the bouncer, we'll just cover the buildings. Okay. So we took care of the sort of semi-rough initial setup. Now it's really important that we get a lot of damage onto the starfish leader here. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. If we move the starfish leader to... So I think my plan is going to be, like, pull the starfish leader down to here. I guess I can't quite do that way here. Yeah, we pull the starfish leader down to here. Then we command this thing to hit it fairly hard. So we do 2 damage to it now, then set myself up so that I deal another point of push damage to the leader when it's bumped into me. We let it kill the hornet. Yeah, and then this thing ends up in the spawn block. This is a very advantageous turn, I think. Oh, I forgot about the... Oh, shoot, I forgot about the push. Yeah. That's... Well, I mean, it's still not a bad turn. But yeah, the fact that it pushes all adjacent targets actually makes it really hard to deal damage to with normal enemies. That's a problem. And it's a little bit too far away from this hornet for us to get them to hit each other. Okay, well, it's pretty bad news. I mean, I can deal enough damage with just the drill mech. Right, maybe that's the whole plan. We could put it here and let it burn and block out from there. Yeah, actually, I don't hate that. Well, no, yeah, that's totally fine. So that lets us get rid of it this turn, and then all you have to do is just cover these buildings. Right, because this guy gets out of the way so that the other guy doesn't push him into a building. Yeah, and then the final turn is 4 enemies, which is a little risky, but they are not focusing well, so... That said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to save these buildings, given how far... Yeah. We're all too far away to actually do anything about that. Oh no, never mind. 5 movement saves the day. Repair yourself. Because I want this thing to die on its attack so that it does push the other bouncer out of the way. The bouncers are fun. The bouncers are fun enemies to fight. They have a fun sort of a gimmick. And moths are basically just ranged bouncers, but if they were ranged in like a firefly kind of way instead of in an artillery kind of way, they would be a lot more fun to mess with. Oh, the bombing run rules. This is a really good find. Yeah, I will absolutely take that, and then we will... Ooh, force swap is interesting. I do think we're going to drop off Kazakhpleth, despite being useful. Do I want force swap? I definitely think I don't want medical supplies. That seems low value. So we're going to want to put a couple reactors into this. Being able to swap the position of Vec is really interesting. I think I'm going to take this. And then we're going to buy 3 reactors and I guess 4% grid defense. It's not a bad first island, honestly. So Big B, I think, is jumping in the control mech from here. who carries the bombing run? It's probably not the control mech, right? The control mech is the one we're least likely to want to not use its ability. And I guess there's an interesting question as to, like, does it make sense to... Does it make sense to move this stuff around a little bit, maybe? I think I'm going to put the bombing run here. But maybe we don't want one mech having all of the ways of dealing damage. Maybe I'm slightly overthinking here. I like force swap a lot more than the swap mech, because the fact that you can swap to Vec, I think, is like incredibly valuable. I might... I don't know how I want to apply these. I think they're both really good. I didn't really give much thought to like what the force composition was going to be like. So I don't think we're not getting a lot of value out of the crack adjacent thing. I mean, do I want to just replace the seismic capacitor entirely? Just set this mech up like that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it down like this. Somebody else is getting the bombing run. It's really hard to imagine not wanting to control shot every single turn. But the bombing runs, it's a one-time thing. Yeah, we'll see. There'll be opportunities. And then do I want to put... Generating 5 shields? There's a lot of utility there. All right, let's try it like this. Let's see what that's like. And how have things changed? This has picked up the very annoying worms. Oof. RST got worse. Got even worse. I hate it so much. This picked up starfish, which is actually kind of a good thing. We can usually use starfish to some serious effect. And I guess the armor scion is not so bad on Acid Island. The worms are incredibly annoying, especially for a team that's like movement based. Let's actually go to detritus. Let's go to Acid Island. And yeah, we'll open up with the acid storms. Could be absolutely terrifying. Totally might be. It's a shame I'm not allowed to start on the acid pools, especially given that, you know, we're all covered in acid already. Do I maybe want you to start here then? No, I'm going to leave it like this. So less than 4 mech damage is not a big deal because none of our mechs can afford to take damage anyway. Doesn't really change anything. Okay, not a bad start. I have to tell you, I feel like... Right? I feel like they just set us up for one of the greatest bombing runs of all time. Do we let this thing just turn off the acid storm? Yeah, if we kill this now, honestly, I don't hate that. And maybe you just throw up some shielding. Honestly, maybe from right here, just do this. Yeah. We got to turn it off at some point, right? And there's enough acid on the ground that I think we should be able to, cover up a lot of our enemies. So let's move you to like here. Don't really have anything super valuable to do. I guess I'm gonna like may as well preserve that shield. And then you also block. I was thinking about attacking and doing a ton of damage, but I actually think that's not a great play because I don't want this thing to, well, I guess had I turned it around it wouldn't have attacked and so it wouldn't have moved off the spawn. I still think this is right. I kind of want to keep the moth alive over whatever else. And if we had done the attack, it would have died on the block. But I think we can probably just use it to block again. This way. And yeah, like given its position, it was not likely to get to be in a spot where it could really do anything meaningful. Okay. Well, I feel like this is a winner. And then what, I could just have the moths. I can move the moths to shoot at each other, which I like. And what if I just run to here, turn you around? Yeah, this one kills that one. Takes block damage plus bump damage. Yeah, and this puts us on 3 damage that has been done to our mechs, so we're still within bounds without having to repair necessarily. The bombing run setup was very silly. Is there a way to, like, a reasonable way to get you killed? It's like we can very obviously kill one of them. I don't think I can get them both. Whatever, it's fine. If you had HP, we totally could. Oh. Yeah, this is fine. I don't, in my head, this mech had a point of damage on it for some reason. I guess I was thinking we had 3 damage and we have very low health mechs, so every mech must have 1 damage on it. Listen, paying attention to the state of the battlefield is not an important thing to do. I kind of want to just take +1 use here. I think I'm going to, right? Plus health on this mech is also, I think, very reasonable. But, like, what if more bombs? Oh, actually, hold on. Can we... If we're going to do this, building immune might be better. There are buildings on a fair number of axes here. I'm wondering if we should save downtown until after we've taken some damage, like go pumping station first. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Is there a good way to manipulate the targeting of these starfish? Probably not. I guess if I position like this, we give this one the opportunity to run to here. And he doesn't have a 2-target area that includes a building, so it'd be really cool. Hell yes. The acid vats are considered enemies for the purpose of, like, what enemies can move through, right? I think so. This is really awkward. This is a very annoying thing for you to do. So yeah, I think we just want to move away and let this happen. Yeah, there are not a lot of good positions to move this thing to. I can put it somewhere harmless. Harmless isn't necessarily the way I want to live my life. I could do this too. Just like throw a shield over. Yeah, that's not terrible. Throw a shield over and then like force swap these two. Yeah. We're already getting to the point where I'm going to be saying every single turn, gosh, that's a lot of Alpha Vec. How do we want to do this? There's not like a super compelling bombing run here. Right, I kind of want to put myself central. Move this thing to there. Sadly, it does not go early in the turn. How do I want to deal with this nonsense? I guess I could just throw exactly the same shield again. My plan was to turn this thing around with the drill mech and then just take the 1 point. But I guess I don't have to. Is there a clever force swap? I guess swapping these two is not bad. No, swapping those two seems pretty good, actually. Although it does somewhat reduce the utility of moving this guy around to the spawn. Because, like, this enemy's already dead. Is there a way to do this that's, like, a little bit more interesting? I could swap these two. No, that's not very good. Swapping these two is not bad, though. So if I do that, this thing's in that position, and it does do 2 damage to this gastropod before the gastropod attacks. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Swap and no wait, what is going on here? Oh, sorry, you have to start the swap with the thing that's adjacent. That's what my control problem was. Right, and then right, that gets us a kill here. This thing is still dealing 2 damage, but I think the way I want to deal with that is just shielding. And I think maybe I throw the shield like this. I was kind of considering doing it so that I could get both of these guys, but I don't really want to throw a shield here and, you know, cover the vat and this thing, and I definitely don't want to throw a shield here. So that's why I'm still absorbing 1 point of damage, but it's not a big deal. Oh, actually, what am I talking? I'm sure leaving this this friend high and dry if I do things in this way. Yeah, no, I need to throw the shield like this. The fact that the shield works like an artillery thing, you can't just throw it next to you, is a little awkward. Because this robot's not, or this mech is not actually getting attacked. Remember, it is going to be rescued. This has been a pretty weird one so far. Okay, so you could just go over and kill this thing. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding time to kill this acid vat, honestly. I think I am going to do this. I think I am just going to drop this thing. We're going to... If I do that, I can't prevent all of the damage. But, like, taking A damage is not so bad. We can move you to, like, here. Yeah, and then if I do one pole damage to this moth, now the starfish kills it before it gets to act. Okay, not too bad. Swap range is pretty short, right? Oh no, I can swap with anything, so like... That seems pretty good. And then I don't have to do very much else here. We can just like place you over here somewhere and call it a day. This doesn't even kill anything extra, but it does get rid of the acid vat. Okay, I gotta be honest with you, that felt pretty sloppy. It did not feel like I was in control there. It felt like I was constantly sort of like bobbling that situation from turn to turn. We got there, but it didn't feel good. Disposal vault and then potentially downtown? We'll see how we feel. I don't love that starting position for the tank. I also don't love two alpha starfish. Yeah, that's a little weird. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Probably. Maybe. Or we'll die. You know, whatever. Probably one of the starfish is going to go here, which is fine. Not ideal, but it's fine. It'll put him in good position, yeah, to at least be controlled to an interesting spot. So... I cannot get acid onto the enemy who is most likely to be, you know, the enemy we want to focus on first. But I could do this. And then we can just control... No, I can't control him. I can pull him. We also could just bombing run him, I guess, if I really want to. Yeah, the problem with that is that I can... Right, I was not thinking about control. I can't control him through my own units, so putting someone here doesn't actually help. But... Yeah, and he's too late in the turn order to be killed by this thing. However... I do have access to a swap. Is there a place where a swap even really does much here? I mean, I definitely want to kill the Shell Scion. Once the Shell Scion is dead... there are maybe some interesting swaps because we could use this space. So what does that look like? That looks like me going here and dropping this. I think I'm going to end up resetting this turn, unfortunately. I think I just didn't. I'm pretty sure this was the wrong target for the acid. In no small part because I want to put the control mech on this space to push this inward. Yeah, okay, let's reset it. Hold on. Let's try to figure this out. So I'm pretty sure the control mech does go here. And then we control this thing over to there where it's not harming anyone. We still have to deal with you, though. Honestly... Honestly, though, I kind of can't. Like... This actually is a really rough setup. Alright. If I... There's no way to put... So I'm like trying to figure out a way to use a swap to do anything interesting here at all. It's actually proving to be quite difficult. Alright, what if I swap this guy and... No, this... Yeah, okay. So, like, move to here, swap the moth and this guy. His attack happens before he'd be moved by the gastropod. Gosh, maybe I do end up making him the acid target after all then. Right, if I acid, then swap these two. The starfish kills the armor scion, and then the gastropod kills the starfish. It leaves me with a position here where I can't figure out what to do. But like this is a whole set of moves that doesn't involve the control mech, so we can definitely play in the space a little bit at least. So I can just shield the building. And what I'd really like to do is move this guy, but I cannot do that. Well, actually no, the control mech can do that if I pull it first. It needs a little bit of assistance to get in position. But then it can end up here, and we just put this dude somewhere. I don't want to put him here. That would be bad. Actually, there kind of aren't any good spots. We put him here and that makes him like mostly harmless. They do 2 damage, right? Yeah, so he hits my own mech, but not lethally. Putting him here does kill one of my mechs. Putting him here kills the pod. Putting him here is like fine. Putting him here causes him to destroy a building and screw up my whole plan. Putting him here causes him to kill this thing before it attacks, which means that the armor scion doesn't die, which is the thing I don't want. So I think I just move him to here. 2 damage on a mech is certainly better than 2 damage on our buildings. As long as it's, you know, a controllable 2 damage. A not immediately lethal 2 damage. Alright, well, I gotta tell you, It feels like the move is acid tank to here, hit that dude with acid, and then bombing run this line, right? Acid tank to here, because I want to be able to control this moth through to there. Oh, right, the bombing run is on that mech. Well, okay, that's less than ideal. I mean, it's still fine, because, like moving this guy to here is very strong. And then I don't actually... I can't do anything very exciting with this mech. But what I can do is just, like, pick up the box and repair a little bit. All right, this thing will kill that thing before it gets to attack. Like, this turn is still fine. Yeah. This is wonderful. I am running into that problem, though, where, like, with the control mech, I always want to be doing control, because control is always amazing. Alright. So somebody covered with acid's gotta die horribly. That's just the way of things. It sure feels like what I should do is this. Right? And then you just go kill this guy. We get 3 fresh spawns, all of our missions are accomplished, and we just have to figure out how to deal with 3 enemies. So how do I want to handle this? Feels like that's probably correct, right? We don't have to get terribly fancy with it. We can just accept this. It turns out acid is very good and powerful. Who would have thought? Okay, targeted strike. Similar to, but distinct from, the bombing run. Oh, that rules. So wait, is that pilot's +1 move and skilled? That's very cool. Drill mech is probably an extremely appropriate place for that skill set. I don't think we use targeted strike. This is like a... yeah, this is a remarkably weak weapon. Yeah, weird. It's a weird one. Alright. I guess we should go for it, right? This is the only place left that we could get 2 stars, even if we do count the power as no value, which is not correct to do. This is still right. Okay, so this is kind of an annoying set of enemies. If I don't put somebody here, we're going to get a starfish here. I do feel like I should put somebody here, but I think it probably should be the drill mech. Where else does it make sense to go? You know what, maybe the drill mech should be over here, because the drill mech can get anywhere, so setting it further off center is not as dangerous. I think this makes sense. We're going to have some rough go of it with the webs, but we can't really do too much about that in this position, I don't think. Alright, that starfish is just going to attack from where it is, I'm sure. Yep, okay. It's a shame that our allies are not bombing run proof. So obviously I can just swap you for somebody. Probably like that starfish would be a pretty good move. We can just drive our allies out of danger. Bombing run along this axis is pretty exciting. Yeah, and if I just... What is the best way to set that up? Because, like, obviously we can just have you drive. You get to safety. How do I want to deal with this guy? What is the right way to handle that? I guess I can just stand here and pull, because this attack isn't going to go off. Yeah, that's disarming, and then we can just save the gas. I think getting rid of the armor scion early is pretty high value. We still have 4 enemies up. 2 of them still have a very annoying attack patterns for this map, and 1 of them still webs. So we're not like in a hugely better position, but this is something we can work with for sure. What do I want to do with these starfish? So one thing I could definitely do is we could just shield that building. I don't know, that's not terribly exciting. The force swap doesn't do very much here though. Does not seem very good. You go first. So actually, like, doing a turnaround on this guy is definitely interesting. It causes him to pull this thing into this position. Sadly, it doesn't attack until after the leaper has attacked, so it doesn't allow us to sort of like cascade a solution together. Where is it even good to use the control mech? Where does the control mech do anything I care about? I guess if we control mech this to here, or we just poke this dude so he dies, that's fine, right? And then you can just do a really boring pull. I guess really boring pull from here makes more sense. I like the pull in this direction, obviously, because it deals damage, but probably blocking a spawn is a better play. Yeah, that's okay. There's a lot of like perfectly fine and not very exciting Into the Breach going on here. I'll say this though, I do not feel like our opponents are forcing me to play very well. Alright, so obviously we can just move this guy into a position where he kills something. Kind of want to let you get your attack off, so maybe that's not the move. I mean, obviously we could just drive you out of the way. Like maybe we want to swap this thing because I want to let this moth block the spawn if it wants to do that. That seems wise. I mean, I could just tank a point of damage. It's not really a big deal. Yeah, you can just do this. You can drive out of the way here. And then you just get pulled, I guess. I can't stand on the spawn and do it, but am I allowed to swap things with myself? No. That's a shame, because I kind of want to be there, but I don't have the movement to get there. No, never mind. 6. I absolutely have the movement to get there. So we're just going to pull you and fly this thing all the way down to here, because it can go anywhere it wants, anytime it wants. 6 movement is ridiculous. This poor starfish must be so frustrated. It almost gets to knock down a building every single turn. It's always so close. That's got to be worse than like just clearly accomplishing nothing at all. All right, are you still at full health? You totally are. So moving the starfish to hit you does not solve the problem. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever, right? And then we're good. I don't see a way to get another kill out of this, so I think it goes first. Yeah, we could only get 3 damage there. Yeah, we're good. And so far it's going very smoothly. Okay, I do have a core available. I should probably slot that. Is it +1 use on the control mech for the bombing run point? Or what does the map look like here? Okay, I definitely want to keep building immune on my bombing run. Or do we put it on somebody else to build toward something else? Like a 3rd use of the shield projector is pretty powerful. I do not hate that. That could very well be the move. Or just more bombing run. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take more bombing run. It is a little bit of a shame that this one mech has like almost all of our useful stuff on it, but no, I mean, like, overall we have a very strong team. Overall, we have a lot of fun tools here. I don't really want to put you in position to get alpha leaped. So maybe we put the drill mech all the way back. Yeah, probably. Wherever the eggs are thrown is going to be annoying, but at least we've done it. We've done this in such a way that we can't get more than one of our mechs webbed at a time. Oh, that's right. This spider doesn't web your stuff. It just throws lots of enemies at you. Okay, well. Obviously, there's a lot of fun we can have with force swaps here. You have 6 HP, and we really do... We want to burn through that as quickly as we can. Gosh, there's so much damage coming out. Okay, if we... Okay, here's the thought. We can move this mech to here, throw a bombing run somewhere, and then move the drill mech to here and force swap this with that, so that we get 3 damage. We get this thing not attacking a building, this thing taking damage from the spawn block, and this thing dealing 3 damage to the spider. And then we still have some problems to deal with, obviously, but I don't... Yeah, and if the bombing run is like this, it saves the corporate tower while also clearing a spider off of the field for next turn. I think I like this a lot. Force swap you. So now we have 3 total building damage on the table. And the thing we absolutely can do is block this spawn, throw this up here to prevent one of the building damage while also putting a shield over the tower. And we just allow ourselves to take 2 damage while getting full spawn blocks. I actually think I'm okay with this. So this is toast. This building gets hit twice, so it's going to take 1 as well. But yeah, like getting the alpha leaper attack on the spider, I think was super high value. Now the spider dies to a bombing run very easily, or even to just being like pulled into the pole mech, or we have a lot of options. I mean, a bombing run along this axis is very powerful. So you could block this spawn while doing that. If that's the play, what else do we do? You could just throw a shield up here and cover these buildings. Honestly, right? Like, that's super good. And then I just kill you. That causes this moth. I could just kill the moth instead. That's probably better. Although actually force swapping these two is well, if I'm going to do that, I may as well do it from here. Right? Force swapping these two is actually the play. Yeah, for sure. The moth deals 1 damage to that thing while killing itself and this this egg. Yeah. Yeah, I really love the utility of the shield launcher once you get it upgraded, and it's solving a problem and also providing cover against future problems you haven't even... Things you don't even know you need to deal with yet are already saved. It's very, very good. So we can use this thing to kill that thing, which I like very much. You need to move. Go find something else to do. I mean, this seems fine, right? And then you kind of don't get to do anything. You have to just, like, repair. We have to let that spider run amok for the moment. Okay. Kill that to free up the space so that we can use the leaper once again to deal with an enemy, and we just pull you slightly out of position, and there it is. Alpha leapers are very powerful tools. If you can just aim them, they do good work. Okay, 10 stars. Also, that's great. Bethany Jones with opener. I think we're going to take Bethany. Right? We just have an open slot. We should use it. So opener is boost and move on the first turn, right? Yeah. Okay, we're definitely not using this. Ooh, the grid repulse is very fun. Is it more fun than any of the stuff we currently have? Would we take that over anything? I think there's basically no version of this where I don't buy 3 reactors. We're definitely not going to take self-destruct. We're definitely not going to take force amp. Although actually force amp's really fun. I don't think I want it now, but that's a really cool one. Let's definitely spend up on these. And then the question is just like, do I buy this, sell something back, and get a point of grid, one purchase of grid power to go to full, or do we just buy this plus a little bit of defense percentage? If I were going to buy the grid repulse, which is extremely good and powerful, what would I replace it with? Or what would I replace with it? Force swap, I think, is too good to drop for sure. The seismic capacitor is kind of soft, but like pointed direct damage, flipping enemies, like it definitely has a utility we're not getting from anything else. My inclination is to drop the attraction pulse. There are certainly some things that the attraction pulse does that nothing else does. But like grid repulse is very good. All right, I'm gonna do it. This is very aggressive. So we throw, you are now the shield mech. Definitely add shield on that. Add shield on that is phenomenal. And then we have 2 more reactors. We could just put them in here. I feel like it makes more sense to do this. This just does 1 damage to the enemy when swapping it. It doesn't feel very significant. Neither does this, though. So the only thing that we really want, aside from what we have now, is big capacitor upgrade. But we are short. We are just a little bit short of that actually being any being doable. Yeah, that's really awkward. We could move Big B over there and just allow the control shot to drop down to 2 points of movement. I really don't like that, though. And if I'm not getting this, I think that there is a question to be answered here about what our next move is. Because if we're going to the hive right now, and I think there's a good chance we are, then the thing that makes sense to do is just to drop the 2 reactors in here and take this. If there's some chance that we're going to do another island and we will get more reactors in the future, heading toward an upgrade for the seismic capacitor makes sense. But to be perfectly honest with you, I do think that this is a run where we should just end it. I think we're really powerful. I think powering up the bugs is not going to power us up very much. 2 of our pilots are already max level. You know what's interesting is, should we swap the bombing run to Bethany? Maybe like remove the shield projector from this mech. Move the bombing run over there. Like to make better use of her boost, and also so that we have less, like, we don't use the shield projector nearly as much. Maybe to the point where I would actually be willing to do this. Well, I don't know. I think I want to keep the bonus area. Yeah, I think this is what we're doing. Here's the thing. Force swap is so fucking good that, like, I just don't... We don't even need the seismic capacitor most of the time. You have 6 move with 6 move and 5 health due to your level ups without me having to do anything else. Like, this mech is finished at 2 capacitors. Yeah, I like this setup a lot for going to the final island, and I think that's what we're going to do, but we're definitely not going to do it 90 minutes into this episode when I have a therapy appointment in 10. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I just don't want to have to tell my therapist that I was fighting space bugs, and that's why I'm late to the session, because I think that that's going to raise more questions. When y'all come back next time tomorrow, we're taking this to the volcanic hive, and at the risk of jinxing things a little bit, I have a very good feeling about our setup. I think this is real strong. Come back to see how I screw it up, and we'll see you then.